Boiling. Process in which the liquid phase changes to gaseous phase at a constant temperature at a given pressure is called as boiling point of the liquid. Let us perform an activity. Take a beaker of water, keep it on the burner. The temperature of the water rises continuously till it reaches 100 degrees Celsius. Beyond 100 degrees Celsius, no further rise in temperature of water is seen. At 100 degrees Celsius, though the supply of heat continues, the temperature does not increase further and a lot of bubbling at the surface of water at 100 degrees Celsius is seen. This is called as boiling of water. Water is a solution. Why? Because there are many impurities dissolved in it, including some gases. When water or any liquid is heated, the solubility of gases it contains reduces. As a result, bubbles of gas are formed in the liquid. Latent heat. When heat is applied to a substance, its temperature rises. Apart from that, the heat supplied to the body may cause a phase change, such as solid to liquid or liquid to vapor. During the process of change of state, temperature remains constant. The amount of heat needed to the change of state of a body without changing its temperature is known as latent heat and is denoted by L. Latent heat of vaporization. The quantity of heat required per unit mass of a substance to completely convert it from liquid state to vapor at constant temperature is called the specific latent heat of vaporization. Latent heat of vaporization of water is 2.26 into 10 to the power of 6 joules per kg or 540 calories per gram. In solids, the forces between the molecules are strong and hence the molecules are fixed to a mean position. In liquids, the forces between molecules are weaker and the molecules are free to move within the volume. In vapors or gases, the intermolecular forces are negligible. When a solid melts, the molecules need energy to move apart against the strong molecular attraction. Hence, heat is to be supplied. Therefore, the internal energy of a given body is larger in liquid phase than in solid phase. Similarly, the internal energy of a given body in vapor phase is larger than that in liquid phase. The latent heat of vaporization is always greater than the latent heat of fusion of the same substance. This is because the internal work required to separate the molecules and make them independent of each other is large when the substance changes from liquid to vapor. But when the substance changes from solid to liquid, the molecules are still bound by the mutual attraction. Hence, the internal work needed is less when compared to former case. Further, in case of vaporization, much more energy is needed first in order to convert the liquid to vapor and next to increase the volume of the vapor to a larger extent. Liquids with low latent heat of vaporization are called volatile liquids. Example: ether, petrol, etc. Liquids with high latent heat of vaporization are used in the process of refrigeration. Commonly used refrigerants are ammonia and sulfur dioxide. Melting. Converting solid into a liquid is called melting. Activity. Take small ice cubes in a beaker. Insert the thermometer into ice cubes. Heat the beaker, keeping it on a burner. Does the temperature of the ice change during the process of melting? Now let us find out. The temperature of ice at the beginning is equal to 0 degrees Celsius or below 0 degrees Celsius. If the temperature of ice is below 0 degrees Celsius, it goes on changing till it reaches 0 degrees Celsius, when it starts melting. No change in temperature is observed even though the heat is supplied continuously. Why does this happen? The heat energy supplied to the ice increases the internal energy of the molecules of the ice, and this increase in internal energy of the molecules weakens the bonds as well as breaks the bonds between the molecules in ice. That is why the ice becomes water. This process takes place at a constant temperature, that is 0 degrees Celsius or 273 Kelvin. This temperature is called melting point. This process of converting solid into a liquid is called melting. Latent heat of fusion.
The heat energy required to convert 1 gram of solid completely into liquid at a constant temperature is called latent heat of fusion.
The amount of heat needed to melt a solid substance of mass m is written as Q is equal to ml. Dimensional formula for latent heat of fusion is L equals to Q by m, which equals to ml square T to the power of minus 2 divided by m equals to L square into T to the power of minus 2. Units of latent heat of fusion are calories per gram in CGS system and joules per kg in SI system. Latent heat of fusion of ice is 3.35 into 10 to the power of 5 joules per kg or 80 calories per gram. Freezing. The process during which the decrease in internal energy of water converts liquid into solid is called as freezing. There is some amount of internal energy lost to the environment by water during freezing. Freezing of water takes place at 0 degrees Celsius and 1 atmospheric pressure. Let us determine whether volumes of water and ice formed are equal. A small glass bottle filled with water without gaps is taken. Lid is tightly closed and bottle is kept in the refrigerator. It is observed that glass bottle breaks as the volume of ice is greater than the volume of the bottle. The phenomenon behind is that water expands on freezing, leading to increase in its volume. As the volume of ice is higher than the volume of water, the density of ice is less than the density of water. Hence, ice floats on water.